Online misinformation, it's not just for vaccines anymore. In fact, it's come for the infrastructure bill. You've got Meghan McCain. She is fresh off of being pushed out of the View's airlock, but still commenting on politics. She had something to say recently about how popular this bill is. You'll see it right here.
The Build Back Better agenda is the most progressive modern agenda of all time, up to $5 trillion, and it's not polling well. So I think I'm just confused as why they're doubling down on something that is cratering in the polls right now.
Okay, she said one thing there that was accurate. She's confused, so we're gonna try to help her to relieve some of Meghan McCain's confusion. Actually, we're just gonna comment, but Bernie Sanders and his team put together a response, which you'll see now.
Look, I'm not quite sure what planet Meghan is living on, but right here on planet Earth, the overwhelming majority of the American people, including independent centrists, support the $3.5 trillion American Families Plan. And here are the receipts. According to an August 2nd Quinnipiac poll, they asked the American people, do you support or oppose a $3.5 trillion spending bill on social programs such as childcare, education, family tax breaks, and expanding Medicare for seniors? And guess what, Meghan? 62% of the American people said they support this bill, while only 32% said that they opposed it. Opposing these policies doesn't make you a moderate. It doesn't make you a centrist. It makes you an extremist who is way out of touch with the American people.
It was a great job there by Warren. That top line number, that 62% I think it was there, or what Meghan described as cratering in the polls. But you can go deeper into this and find similar levels of support for specific things, because she might say, well, sure, you say we're gonna do this big bill, and then yeah, people are gonna say they like it. Well, no, you can get quite specific. So when you ask them about expanding access to healthcare and childcare, providing paid family and medical leave, and making community colleges tuition free, that has 63% support, actually 1 percentage point more. People really like that. Supporting and opposing the legislation, you can see 66%, 93% of Democrats. Also helps to answer a question of why the Democrats would be pushing for it. Do you favor or oppose the additional infrastructure items being considered by the US House? Is a Fox News poll. You can see even 56% support there. 60% independents. So it is just Republicans at this point that are mostly against it, but even a significant chunk of Republicans are in support of that. So multiple different polls all saying the same thing. This is a broadly popular set of priorities that is consistent with how the Democrats in general campaigned in 2020 and how Joe Biden himself said he would govern as president.
Yeah, so by the way, that was Warren Gunnels. He's longtime staff director and policy advisor to Bernie Sanders. This I did know, apparently he has the nickname, the Keeper of Receipts. How cool is that?
That is
Jeez,
cool.
Lord mercy, I'm kind of jealous of that nickname. The best one I got, I think, was Arian Foster, legendary NFL running back, not a big deal, once called me the sword of the left.
Ooh.
And I was like, yes. Okay,
cool.
But Keeper of Receipts is badass, especially when you work for Bernie Sanders and do his policy. So look, I love that they're fighting back here. I thought it was really effective in a couple of different ways. One, you pick a target of Meghan McCain, and like it or not, it makes people pay more attention.
Yeah.
Right? Number two, she says something flamboyantly wrong, right? So it's easy to pick apart. Number three, she didn't get challenged by Chuck Todd on Meet the Press. Of course, mainstream media is not gonna do the job. So they're going straight to the people. That makes a ton of sense.
Well, really fast, and they liked her comment, her false comment so much, they tweeted it out on the Meet the Press Twitter account. They quoted it in the text, her wrong, objectively wrong comment.
With no context and no correction or anything. But that goes to the heart of why this video makes a ton of sense and is the effective way of doing it. And its message, most importantly, is correct, which is that in mainstream media, you will hear this all the time. We did a protest just around the fact that mainstream media lies about their own polls once. You remember when we went down to CNN in LA, the CNN headquarters, and that's where we got footage that we show all the time of people chanting TYT in front of CNN and stuff. And the reason for that protest now, all the way back in the Obama years when they were considering Obamacare, was CNN had a poll showing that the public option had like a 70% approval rating. It was their own poll. And then They set it on air and then they dropped it immediately. And for the next week, they kept telling you how unpopular the public option was. So we went down there just to say, like, can you just state your own poll? Your own poll, which here Warren quotes a Fox News poll, right? So if Fox News did the poll and it shows that this is immensely popular, why doesn't Fox News quote their own poll and tell people, hey, by the way, you guys actually love this proposal?
Yep.
Maybe as a Republican, only 30%, by the way, when 30% of Republicans love something, a Democratic proposal, that is wildly popular, right? Normally that number is at best in the teens, et cetera, especially on social issues, okay? So when the media sees numbers it doesn't like, it buries it. And it pretends to be Meghan McCain is only the vessel. Really, her being on Meet the Press and amplifying that message, and the Meet the Press host allowing it, is media manipulation 101.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Dick Cheney did on Meet the Press when he went on and said, Iraq attacked us from the general region of the 9/11 attackers. And the host was like, oh yeah, that's cool, yeah, well, way to be, Iraq sucks. I guess they're somehow connected to 9/11, right? And by the way, that same number, 70% of Americans thought that Saddam Hussein had personally attacked us on 9/11 when he had not. So it's too many mistakes by the media to have you think that they're actually mistakes. So now finally to the substance of it. Guys, what Bernie Sanders' office there is talking about is true on almost every issue. I theoretically wrote a book that's theoretically coming out at some point. You can go and pre-order it at justicescomingbook.com. The title Justice is Coming has now become a little ironic, but justicescomingbook.com. And the reason I tell you that in this context is the first chapter is all about polls. And every poll in the country shows that our policies, progressive policies, are the exact opposite of what the mainstream media gaslit people into believing for all this time. I showed that the magic number, guys, is 66%, and you saw it in that video too, on this issue today. And I wrote that stuff now almost 2 years ago, chapter 1, okay? So that's a little embarrassing. But seriously, guys, every poll, we're at around 2/3, right? Now, do you see that in the news? No, progressives, extremists, radicals, outsiders. No, not within the mainstream, not within the mainstream. What the hell kind of mainstream are you looking at? If 2/3 of the country is not in the mainstream, I think you might misunderstand what that word means.
They keep using it.
Yeah, and Warren made the point there, and when it's coming from Bernie's office, it has more impact. Stop calling them moderates and centrists.
I hate that.
The center of the country agrees with us, and it is indisputable. Look at your own numbers and stop lying for once, because it isn't about Meghan McCain. It's about all the corporate media and how they purposely tilt things in favor of corporations and against the American people.
Yeah.
And I love that Bernie's office fought back. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.